Is it happening? Did I get it right? Can everyone hear me? I'm quiet. Okay. That's something I can fix. All right. Hi, everyone. How's it going? It's Friday. It's time to draw. Just, the past few live streams, I've had some technical issues. I really hope that I've sorted them out today. I am streaming both horizontally and vertically simultaneously. I'm confirming that over there. If you are watching this vertically and you'd prefer to watch it horizontally, there's a pinned chat with the link to go to the horizontal one. And if you want the vertical one, if you're on a phone, you can get that there. I also just want to say, if you are trying to rewatch my live streams and you can't find them, it's because they go unlisted afterwards to not mess up my stats. So I have a playlist that's just all the live streams. So you can find all of them in that playlist. So if you're looking for them, just go to the live streams playlist. You'll be able to find them. And that's it. Our special moderator, Skippy McHaggis, one of three amazing moderators that we have, just posted the link to the horizontal one. If you are looking for it, shout out to Skippy, Diana, Lisa, and the good Chad. You'll notice they got some sweet wrench icons next to their names because they are, the greatest moderators ever. Before I forget, I just want to quickly shout out my amazing channel members. All of my super supporter and above members get their name illustrated and included in all the videos I make while they are active members. This is the current lineup of rock stars. Couldn't do it without you all, so thank you so much. Does it really have to refresh the chat every time I come back to the scene? Because that is a real bummer. Anyway, where are the chats? Top chat, live chat. You would think it would be easier to include this stuff in there. Since I'm just rambling and not getting into it yet, I will say that I'm very excited that I ordered the new iPad Pro with the new Apple Pencil Pro. I have gone a long time without upgrading, which is rare for me because I'm a bit of an Apple nerd, and I get excited, I nerd out about this stuff. But I've been using the same iPad Pro M1 from 2021 up until this point. I skipped the last generation, which is very rare for me. But I got the new one. I even just went crazy and got the special matte nano texture screen because I'm really, really hoping that it makes it feel like there's a screen protector, like a matte screen protector on there. I'm hoping it feels like, I don't know, like my old Cintiq screen felt where you didn't need a cover on it. I really hope that's the case because I had to go to the 1 terabyte model to get it. And I was looking at the hard drive usage on my current iPad Pro, and I've only used 130 gigs because I mainly use Fresco, and it stores it in the cloud, and then I transfer stuff to my computer if it's for client work and stuff like that. So I don't really need 1 terabyte, but you had to get 1 terabyte and above to get the nano texture. So I'm really hoping the nano texture lives up to the quality. The iPad is supposed to arrive on Wednesday, and I'm hoping to do a video right away so that I can have it for next Tuesday. This Tuesday, I got a fun video about doing a looping animation. I think you're gonna like it. But yeah, so I felt like I justified the purchase of the iPad Pro because I do all of my work on my iPad. I am on my iPad all the time. So, and this one has lasted me 100 years. Is that how long ago 2021 was? I think it was 100 years. Okay. Nate Tunes, thank you so much. Nintendo, how's it going? You got the Nano screen too. Excited to see what you think. I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous about a few things. One is that it may not fit properly in my Sketchboard Pro 2 or my AstroPad. I think it won't be that big of a deal for the Sketchboard 2 because I imagine they will make a new cradle. I know the new 13-inch iPad Pro is quite a bit thinner than this one, so it will drop down a little bit, but I'm hoping it'll just like work until I can get the new cradle. And then because it has different Apple Pencil tips, I'm hoping I like them because there's not going to be new things available yet. But these are all things I will discuss in that video. Phone with a V asked, do you use Paperlike? So I have used Paperlike in the past. I'm not crazy about the current version of Paperlike. One, because it's so much more expensive than all the other ones. And two, I wear them out so fast because they've made it to really prioritize the screen quality and not like clouding it at all. So it looks really good when you first put it on, but it just gets scratched up so fast for me because I draw so much. So I don't love that. I'm currently using the Pen Tips magnetic one just because they sent it to me to test out and I haven't taken it off and it's been fine. I think it's one of the best magnetic ones so far that I've tried because it doesn't feel like it's going to fall off, and I don't take it on and off. I just leave it there, and I haven't noticed it, so that's the good thing. And Nintendo, I did get the 13-inch. And yeah, I have the 12.9 now. That's what I've been using forever. And I think the smaller size would be fine. I've drawn on a smaller one. I even draw on an iPad mini from time to time, but because it's like my main work unit, the bigger size is helpful for me. Okay. Yeah, so I would say I did get the nano screen version. I'm very excited. I'm going to make a video about it. I will say though, I don't really like my iPad, my M1 iPad Pro from 2021 is still a beast. Like I didn't upgrade because I don't feel like this one performs. Like this thing does everything I needed to do. It never feels slow. It never struggles with anything. So I would say this is a great time to be able to get a really great deal on an iPad and like not the new one because, I think I'm excited about that. But like if you're someone who's on a budget, like even the iPad Airs, like the iPads have been way more than capable of being great for illustration and drawing for so long. Like you could get a 4-year-old iPad Pro or even like last gen iPad Air, probably even the base model iPad right now that's only like, I don't know, $350 or something like that. And I think you would have a super solid machine and not have to worry about anything. So that's like when people recommend what should I get if I can't afford an iPad, I would say, I don't know. I think the iPad is still the best and you can get a cheap iPad. You can get like a refurbished last gen iPad Air for, way less than it would cost to get like an XP Android thing. And then you're limited on software. Okay. I can't say how I'm liking the new iPad because it doesn't come in until Wednesday. Thank you, Diana Lisa, for commenting on my stats on the screen. Are they working? Okay. Gripen Media, how much storage is needed for just using Fresco? So Fresco uses iCloud. So like I said this earlier, I checked how much hard drive space I was using when I was picking out the new one, and I'm only using 130 gigs, and that's like accumulated over time. Like I've had this iPad for years now. This is a 2021. So that's like everything that's accumulated, and it's only 130 gigs. If you're using Procreate or doing lots of video stuff, then a bigger hard drive would make sense. I ended up going with the 1 TB just because I had to get the nano texture screen, which I'm hoping, lives up to it. Will, how's it going? No worries about being late. I haven't started anything. I've just been rambling. So let me switch over to my iPad. So in today's live stream, it looks like my chat stayed, I guess, hopefully. Okay. In today's stream, if you didn't see my post, I decided that I'm going to do a drawing for this Monster Mayhem official prompt list by Manny. I should have gotten the Instagram account. But I was trying to come up with an idea for what I wanted to draw today. And I was looking at this list and I saw that the prompt for today, the 10th, is yokai. I don't know if that's how you say it. You can let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. But yokai is like these like traditional Japanese folklore monsters. And if you don't know, I'm a big fan of that style. I love that like traditional Japanese tattoo, and all of these sort of yokai characters are, a big part of that. So I was like, oh, I have to do this. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not just going to draw one monster because, there's too much pressure. I'd rather just draw a little jumble of them. And when I saw this last night, I got excited and wanted to just start sketching. So I have a very rough sketch that I started doing, but this is my plan. I gathered some inspiration, some traditional Japanese folklore illustration and tattoo flash. But these are some prominent things in there, some inspiration that I, started working from and kind of putting my own twist on. This is like super rough right now, but I'm going to use that as my starting point. Thank you so much, Robert Smoothstrip. Okay. Thanks for the cool chat zone from Clem House. Nintendo, you said, I wonder why you're getting yours on Wednesday. So I would say probably because I had 2 windows up during the Apple event. One was the Apple Store window. And it was, I was refreshing that while they were talking, because it was like, they say, we'll be back soon because they're updating it. And as soon as it refreshed, I was like, buy, sell, go, buy. So that's what happened. Let me turn off this camera. I was trying to set up my overhead camera today, but I waited till the last minute. Didn't happen. So next time we'll have that. Okay. So let's, I should start drawing. So, just wipe off my screen a little bit. Is this showing up okay? Okay. So, let's see. This is my inspo reference board, and then this is my rough sketch, and then this was the Monster Mayhem prompt list. I'm going to delete that because that was just there to show you guys. So I'm going to bring down the opacity on this sketch and start refining my sketch a little bit. I was just sort of like jamming things together, but I want it to sort of fit together nicely, like a little bit of a, puzzle lockup situation. That's what I like to do here. So I'm going to grab the Retro Supply Co. Scumbler, which is my current favorite sketching brush. I should say, well, I don't know if I should say, but what I'm gonna say is I have some special collaboration with Retro Supply Co. coming soon. I'm making my own custom collection. So I'm picking out all of my favorite things, and they're putting it together as like the Piascik pack. So it'll have like I've used like everything that they have, and I'm picking out all the stuff that I use on a regular basis and all the stuff I like, and that'll be available as a custom pack. Early days right now. I still have a bunch to do to like get it all set and like create some custom art and some videos to go along with it. But that'll be coming soon. In the meantime, if you want to check out their stuff, I do have a link in the chat. To Retro Spyco. So this Scumbler is in their liner set, along with the classic inker, which is the one that I use the most. So yeah, let's get into it. So I'm gonna start with this little like umbrella stand guy down here because it's my favorite thing so far. So this was like the inspiration. This is sort of like a classic Japanese weird supernatural thing. It's like a umbrella thing, I think. Looks like a hat there. But I took that, did the one eye, and just sort of made it more my own style, and then I went crazy with the tongue and have it like wrapped around because I thought that would be fun. So I'm just gonna refine this a little bit and also fit it to the space a little bit more. So I think I'll maybe just kind of pull the top a little bit taller. Like that. And again, this is still the sketching stage, so I'm gonna bring my smoothing down. And I'm gonna like pull that part over because I want the tongue to fit in between there and not kind of get weirdly close. So I'm trying to figure out where these can go and be balanced. Oops. Okay. And then, so I think the eye placement is pretty much okay. And I want like a brow line to sort of come over the top like that. And I think the rest of the body and the tongue is pretty good. I just think this needs to be a little bit thicker here. Skippy McHaggis, you said it. I think the leg lamp from Christmas Story. Yeah, that's funny. It is sort of like that. A less sexy version. Okay. And then, so I want the be intentional of where the tongue like overlaps so that it doesn't have like a weird bump. So I'm having it kind of cross over right at that point. So it just has a more, I don't know, just looks a little bit cleaner. And then I think maybe we'll do like a little under the eye wrinkle thing like that. And then the rest of the mouth I think is fine. Definitely need that smoothing in the morning because of the coffee hands. So I think I'm gonna have to turn the smoothing back up, but I need to keep it loose to figure out what these hands are gonna do. So more importantly than just like where the hands, how they're gonna look, I want them to fit nicely in this space. So I think this one I just want to move over a little bit more. And let me look at some reference for hands, like some claws. So these are all pretty simple. I like these claw hands, those are kind of cool. Maybe I can do something like that. Those are just normal hands. Let's see. I guess I can figure that out after I get the placement. Now it's more along the lines of just like figuring out where they're gonna fit in the space. Go like this. Okay. So yeah, this is still, I'm just sort of figuring out placement. Okay. And then, so this monster is like a rip. It's like sort of like a floating spirit. And this is like a ripped shirt at the bottom. I think I have, yeah. So it's like inspired by this guy. So I'm going to use that fabric to like use this space. So it kind of flows together. Okay. And What did I do on that foot? How does the foot work? Okay, so it's just like a regular foot with, it's a sandal thing. It's weird that it has one leg, but it also has a sandal. A big toe. Little kneecap situation. All right, how do sandals work? It's like a flip flop. It goes through like that. Okay, and then this base, then those like stilt things. Okay, cool. So that is fine. I'm gonna turn my smoothing up so I can do some of these flame things. Nikki said that monster looks like a pencil tip. That's funny. It does. So this fire breathing frog thing, just gonna bring the flame down to wrap into this space. Just really find it satisfying to just have everything sort of fit together nicely. So like this arm sleeve can come in like that. Let's work on this. So I think the top part of this frog is pretty okay. Let me just exaggerate this mouth a little bit more. Maybe a little lip situation, if you will. Some sharp teeth. So I got these nostril things. I think I'm gonna have this one overlap like that. Why does my modifier keep not going? So I've been using this. I don't know why I'm even talking about a pen tip right now, because I'm getting a new Apple Pencil and it's not gonna work. But if you're still using the, everyone's still using the current iPad Pencil. What am I talking about? Anyway, I have the Pen Tips Plus pen tip, and it's like, it's soft and it's so good. And I think one of the things I love about it, more so than just the feel, is that it's like lasting so much longer than any other pencil tip that I've ever had, because it, the hard ones just kind of just get sanded down. But this one, because it's soft, it's not getting that flat spot that I always get. It's just like slowly maybe getting a little bit shorter. So I think even though they're pricey, it's lasting me like 5 times as long as a normal Apple Pencil tip. So just something to consider. And, I don't even have an affiliate link below because I don't know, I'm lazy. So I'm not saying it to sell these things. I'm just saying it's what I've been using for a while now. And I think it's fantastic. And it's not clicky either. Like when I tap the screen, it's a soft thing. All right, I'll pull this arm down. Well, I am looking forward to my thoughts on the Nano screen. I'm very anxious about it because I paid so much more than I needed to get it. As I mentioned, you have to get the 1 terabyte and up to get the Nano texture. And I do not need 1 terabyte on my iPad. I need 100 terabytes on my MacBook, but not on my iPad. So I'm hoping it lives up to my hopes and dreams. But if it does, man, even though I paid extra for it, make up for it with like the not having to get screen protectors and not have to change them and just that seamless experience, it's gonna be great. Okay, so how does the flame just sort of comes out of the mouth? Okay. Ooh, I like those belly dots. Want to do some of those. Okay, so the flame, maybe we'll just have it like that. All right, we can work on the rest after that. These are like weird fish things. Found them over here. They're like fish ghosts or something. I'm going to work on those after because they are very flexible in their space, so it doesn't really matter what they do. This guy, so I like that he's got an eye in the middle of his head. I'm buying the 13. I wish it was a 15. Though 13 is fine. I don't know why I'm being a baby about it. I like this face too. Also, I forgot about these eyes coming out. I think those eyes are super fun. I might want to do something with those. That face is so silly. I think I want to work from that. I'm going to get my reference layer and not my reference, well, my inspiration board. And I'm going to move it over here. And let's convert this one to a pixel layer so I can copy and paste this face. Let's copy, paste. Okay, so sometimes what I like to do is like sort of trace over, but like loosely, like tracing for, I don't know, like I don't draw things exactly where they are, but like I look at it as like a reference point. So like, I'll be like, okay, whoops. I'll show you what I mean. So it's like, okay, I like these eyes here. Those are simple, but like maybe these things can be bigger and they're like kind of coming out like that. So I'm like using the placement, but like putting my own spin on it. And then maybe like this mouth thing can have the tongue kind of come out like this. And it's ridiculous. And, you know, this is the early part of it, and it's hard for me to really get a feel for what I'm going to do. But I like to do this and then get rid of the reference and then kind of look at it again and see if I want to change it after that. And then I think I'd put like that eyeball on the top again. So now if we get rid of that, I can kind of look at this and see that in combination with like the other thing that I was looking at and see what, oops, wrong layer. And see what I want to do with that. It's a little bit weird. Maybe I will kind of work from this and see if I want to incorporate any of that into it. Hey Drusilla, how's it going? Maze, you said these things are like therapy to you. That's awesome. Okay, so let's work on this version and see if we want to incorporate anything from that into it. So I like this like eyebrow, not eyebrow. Isn't the brow line situation? Oh, and I like this kind of nose I was drawing here, which was more inspired by the other one. And flare the nostrils out a little bit more. I like the tongue. Actually kind of looks better straight down. You know what we could do? There's a lot of the tongues on these characters have this like weird fold up thing like this, which I think is kind of cool looking. So maybe we'll do that and I'm gonna stick with this line and these kind of like these fangs. Want some in the mouth? I don't know. I apologize that I still haven't gotten the background music situation happening. I was using, I don't know if you heard my struggles last time. I was originally using Ecamm and then I switched to OBS so that I could take advantage of the vertical streaming simultaneously. And then I switched again to Streamlabs because it's like a little bit more user friendly, but even so, I still had to like reset up stuff. So that's what most of my prep time was spent doing. All right, so if we pull eyes out like this, do I want to do that? It's kind of crazy. I just, it is wild. I think I have to go with it. Okay, so let's pull this mouth stuff over. Ears, I think we can stick with this. And then we'll just make this eye on top a little bit smaller. Maybe instead of a regular pupil, we could do like a concentric circle thing, like a hypno eye. Okay. I think that will be fun. Okay, and now the hands are just going to be some claws. I think what I had before was okay. I'm just sort of making them a little bit more intentional in terms of what they're gonna, how I'll do them for the final. Okay, and then this sleeve. Let's make this one out a little bit further so it doesn't overlap with that bottom part. So there's like a clear separation of the body. Is there anything cool on this robe? I like those colors and that part. Maybe we'll pull some of that in. So I just sort of like look quickly and then kind of come back to what I'm doing so that I'm, you know, letting my own take come into it. Okay. And then we're going to have, I like the smoke cloud behind it. So let's maybe pull this over a little bit further to like use the negative space between the, this weird fish monster. This one looks from, oh, it kind of looks like Plankton from SpongeBob. These fins. He's looking down at that guy. So this one over here is one that I don't know what's happening yet. Kind of as a beaver feel. So yeah, Dynalisa Streamlabs is definitely more user friendly. Apparently it's more processor intensive. So that's something to consider if your computer is, you know, maybe a little dated. If it's not, it should be fine. It's not an issue for me, but I do have a little bit of a beast of a computer. I'm trying to see if I can just have these like teeth come down on the bottom and if that looks good on its own. Maybe a tongue coming out. I don't know. We can decide about the tongue later. And then I'm just going to wrap this body down so it fits into that space. And little that thing, little piece of that thing. Okay. And then I'm just going to wrap this flame into that space. And I think we're going to be ready to Mick J said most OBS plugins are not compatible with Slobs, which is Streamlabs for OBS. Yeah, so I didn't have a lot of OBS plugins. I didn't really understand what I was doing too much with OBS, and this one just had a lot of stuff built in, so I didn't have to like go and find plugins like the stuff on the screen, like my little chats things. This probably wasn't the best live stream to have the super chats thing, because that usually comes up when I'm doing the drawing people's names and people cut the line using a super chat. This isn't a very super chat friendly stream, so I should have had that. I should have made a scene without that. But I guess Andrew from the last stream gets to just be famous this entire time. Unless someone wants to punch her out with a... Not punch her. If someone wants to bump her off with a super chat. I'm not saying give me a super chat. I'm just saying if you want to be on the screen. There's not a lot of competition. Okay. Let's get rid of this dumb little face. We don't need that. And then this flame thing, I feel like I can just freestyle it, unless I just want to look and see if there's any other face that I want to take inspiration from. So that flame guy is inspired by this little thing. So I think what I'm going to do now is start my new drawing layer, that where I'm going to do the final line work. But let's see, let's merge this down. So before I get rid of that lower sketch, I'm going to just do the line work for this flame monster, because I'm going to freestyle it in there. That's the plan. So I'm going to switch to my favorite inking brush, which is the Retro Supply Co. Classic Inker from their liner set, which link below if you want to check that out. Okay, so smoothing all the way up. Let's check my brush size. That's good brush size for this. And let's just get this going. So I'm going to make this eyeball a little bit bigger. Kind of use this space a little bit and make him a little bit more dramatic. I think more ovally eyes would be kind of fun. And then like this wrinkle thing. This flame nose, I made it pointy because it's like a flame wisp or something. I don't know. This mouth situation. Why do I say situation all the time? Isn't that weird? I guess there's not like a better word for some things. This, I apologize for my squeaky glove sounds on this screen protector. Maybe we'll put another tooth over there. That's kind of fun. I haven't done any like just regular lettering illustrations in a while. If that's something that you're more into seeing, let me know in the chat, because I feel like lettering is sort of like, well, what are we doing here? It was like my sort of specialty kind of thing, and it was, but I don't know. I haven't done a lettering video in a while. That's the point of what I'm saying. Let's fill this mouth in, bring that up. Sam Hannaford, hey from New Zealand, how's it going? Andra, you are still the Super Chat champion from the last one. Congratulations. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here is, again, sort of fit this all together. So I'm extending this part up so that it kind of fills that negative space, just because I like it all to kind of flow together. Like this. I'm being quiet because I'm concentrating on trying to get it to look right. I'm trying to make sure I vary the length so they don't look repetitive and look more sort of natural, like a flame with a face on it, as natural as that can be. The The one thing that I will be very excited about with the nano texture, if it works out well, is like with a screen protector, although I require it and need it for drawing, there is that little bit of a, like sometimes I'm going to move the screen and I'm like tap, tap, like just trying to grab it because it's not as precise of an immediate grab, which won't be the case if I don't have a screen protector on. So just drawing some more of these flame lines, little flame and details. And then a couple of these little jib jobbers. I wonder if we can put one like this to sort of use that space a little bit. I think that's okay. Then maybe that's not sharp enough. One thing when you have the smoothing on, you gotta like end your lines and start. So you get a corner that has a nice point to it. Okay, so that is good. So we can turn off that original sketch, and now I can turn down the opacity on the old sketch, and we can just start doing the rest of this line work. The good Chad swinging in with a super chat, bumping Andra, taking the super chat spot at the bottom of the screen. So Hamilton, yeah, I've used every different kind of paper, like screen protector, paper feel, paper touch, paper whatever. I've got videos about all of them. I used to like paper like a lot with the first version. I don't love the new version because they prioritized the screen quality, which I respect, but I wear them down way too quickly and they just get all scratched and gnarly, and they're expensive too. And I feel like so many of the other ones are fine and, you know, like a quarter of the price. So yeah, paper-like is the least paper-like feeling out of all of like the current ones that do that, because they've, you know, tried to simplify it a bit or like make it less textured so that it has paper feel, but also has great screen quality. Okay, so I'm making a decision here to make this a little bit wider to give a little bit of like perspective type situation. Oh my God, I said situation again. All right, let's get this tongue line in. Came up a little bit too high, but I think it's okay. I'm gonna pull that over like that. Use the modifier to turn my brush into an eraser. Okay, let's do this in a couple pieces. Of course, someone's mowing their lawn right now. Hopefully you aren't hearing that. All right, let's get this one. And then this back part. Oh man, Andra coming back, knocking the good chat out. For some reason, the good chat is still on the screen. Let me see if I can refresh that, because is it not fixing? The good chat hacked the system. I don't know what he is doing. He blocked her out. I think there's a little bit of a delay on it, actually. I didn't mean to start a war. I was just being silly. I guess two people being silly isn't really a war. Okay, teeth. Sharp, pointy, triangle teeth. iPad is in Sketchboard Pro. Yeah, so I'm in the Sketchboard Pro 2 right now. So I have the, I've had the Sketchboard. Sorry, I just got distracted by this connection. This is a mess. We got to fix this. So I had the original Sketchboard Pro. I liked it. The Sketchboard Pro 2, I think, is an improvement, but it's it's iterative. If you have the Sketchboard Pro 1 and you like it, I think it's it's fine. It's not dramatically better. It's a little bit better. I made a video comparing the two. I also have the dartboard, and although when I'm at my desk, I always use the Sketchboard Pro 2, I tend to put the iPad in the Sketchboard, not the Sketchboard, the AstroPad when I'm drawing on the couch, because it's more comfortable on my lap, because it's, it's like a thick foam thing, whereas this is, kind of a pointy plastic bit at the bottom that jams into my stomach. Oh, Andrew is back on the screen. You gotta love it. It's always great to see. Okay, let's draw this thigh and this shin. Maybe get a little bit more taper there for that. And then the foot. So I guess I was drawing it with the big toe back here. I hate drawing feet, to be honest. So I'm just sort of exaggerating it quite a bit. Just putting 4 toes on it, because that's what this has. It has 4 toes. That's what I've decided. A little heel. And then just erase. Then we need these straps. Like that. And then this, let's look at this, how this works. So it's just like, oh, there's only one thing on that one. Okay. So we will put this board shoe and then this part. All right. Wait, this is this? Let's make it a hairy leg like that neck. I think that's a fun little effect. This brush is good for it. A little hair on the foot. Never hurt anyone. Nick is coming in hot, blowing everyone off the board. Was not expecting this super chat situation happening. I appreciate you all. You are lovely, lovely supporters. Okay, let's draw a hand here. So I'm gonna make this claw have a little bit more detail now. Give it some joints, and then I'll curve in like that. My glove making fart noises, which is ideal. That pinky's too long. Okay. And then the palm. I think I'm gonna go with more of my style and just have this sort of like rounded, as opposed to like a, let's see, maybe a little skinnier. Okay. And then this one, I wonder how long that delay is on this on the super chat, because Nick is not getting the credit he deserves. Is that hand the right size? Okay. That. And then the arm. That arm is, you know what we need to do? We got to pull this up a little bit so it doesn't line up perfectly with the tongue. You don't want that. That'll be a distraction. Okay, like that. Eraser. And taper that line a little bit. Oh, this part. And then I forgot about the top part. So this looks like a hat, but really, oh, those like things at the bottom too. I think we need those. Maybe? I don't know. I think we're gonna leave those out for my design. So this is more of just like a tie thing. So, I think what I'll do is kind of redraw the top part of that a little bit. Let me look. So let's put some of those lines in. Okay, and we'll X that line there. And I mentioned the top part. So what I'm going to do is turn off my sketch for a second. And I think just sort of have this kind of be more rounded, and then like the fabric is being pulled a little bit. Well, I think that looks more accurate. See this pencil tip, I can like draw real fast on there and it doesn't make that scratchy noise, which is cool. All right, merge that down, fill that in a little bit, then maybe just a couple little. I think that's looking cool. Let's turn this back on, draw on this pupil. You know what, Skippy? Let's get out of here with the trying to talk about Chicago pizza. Actually, you know what? I'm not opposed to eating the Chicago deep dish pizza. I'm just opposed to calling it, pizza. I'll eat it. I'll eat it all day. I don't give a heck. It's not competing with New Haven pizza. Okay, let's draw this frog. So I'm gonna pull this line down here. So I think the mouth line should, or like the jaw line should come over this belly line. Different than the way I drew it. So I'm drawing that line all the way through because it'll make it easier to draw the rest. And draw the rest of this foot claw. And I don't know. I think that's okay. I like that it kind of looks chonky, so I'm making it extra chonky back there. got a little bit of a badonkadonk. Is that okay to say? Okay. Nostril. Pull this one over a little bit more. Felt like it was looking a little weirdly placed. But now this other one looks small. Let's redraw this one to give it that same angle. Like that. Okay. The nose is a little bit odd. I think that's okay. There's something about these eyes I'm not crazy about yet. I think maybe I want to give them like a, I don't know, more. No, I don't like that. Let's look at our reference again. So those are just pretty simple. I'm making it more complicated because I'm trying to give it a little something extra, or just a little something more unique to me. I do like these corner things, so I'm gonna lean into that a little bit. Pull that over. Maybe we can do something different with the pupils after the fact. All right, let's get these front tootsies in. I felt like this arm looked a little bit long, so to make up for that, I'm just kind of pulling it forward a little bit. Still something weird about it. I am drawing on the Pen Tips magnetic screen protector, and I think it's fine. I'm not drawing on it because it's like my favorite and I think it's the best. I'm drawing on it because they sent it to me to test out and it's been fine, so I've left it on there. When I put it on, I was due to swap one out. I think if I was going to buy a new one right now, I'd probably just get like the paper feel one from Amazon because it's super cheap and lasts longer than the Paperlike. And, you know, with Amazon Prime, I can get it super fast. But yeah, I can't use an iPad with a normal glass screen without some sort of screen protector. I might be able to draw on it with this Pen Tips 2 Plus pen tip because it's softer and it might grip a little bit, but I can't. I hate the feeling of the glass, and I know that's weird, but I don't like touching it. It's like a weird textural thing for me. All right, so I'm just trying to figure out the flow of this flame line. So it should go behind those teeth. I just don't want it to get too fussy. Like, I don't like that this tooth ends exactly at that flame line, so I want to try to make it like a bigger tooth, which might mean we need to make a couple other teeth a little bit bigger. But I don't know, when they both end at like the exact same spot, it just makes a little bit of a tangent. No, I guess it doesn't look too out of place big. I think if we just make this little guy over here a little bit longer. Yeah, I think that is just fine and dandy. Oh man, that's a bummer, Nick, that you're not going to have your iPad Pro till the end of the month. I would hate that. Wheelam, is there a reason you chose to use raster instead of vector? So I just, I tend to do most of my drawing in raster unless there's like a reason that it needs to be vector. Because like I already work at a large size. So like this is more than fine to print at large sizes, like big enough for if I wanted to do a big poster or a print, or if I was going to make a shirt, this is plenty big enough. But raster artwork is so much more flexible and like gives you so many more options, and like the texture is just so much more natural because you can use like, this actual ink stamp situation where it's like you're limited in vector art, and the files can get a little bit tedious because it's constantly like recalculating. So if you have like lots of detail and texture, this is not the best. But sometimes I will use vector for lettering, even if it doesn't need to be vector, just because the vector trimming tool is really useful. But vector isn't needed most of the time. All right, so I'm going to do more of that texture on the belly afterwards. And I'm going to do the eyes afterwards because I'm not ready to decide what those are going to look like. All right, let's draw the rest of this flame in here. So I'm going to pull this down further. Now that I have like the tightened up line work for other things, I can adjust the flames accordingly to just sort of fit nicely with the other stuff. Hi everyone. How's it going? You just listening to my glove squeaks? How loud are those? Let me know in the chat. Hey, has anyone smashed my thumbs lately? Has anyone given me a like? I mean, what are we doing here? We get some likes up in this piece or what? Sick of this. I'm over here drawing my heart out. Not even giving me a like. That's silly. I don't like that little flame nubby there. But I do want it to come out a little bit further. Maybe. Oh, that's too much. We're forcing it. Sometimes you can't force it. Look at those. Like I see a bunch of hearts coming in. Thank you. Nick, I don't know if they will deliver to Kentucky. I don't know how well it would hold up. Okay, let's work on this crazy guy up here because I don't know what this is going to look like. Actually, let's merge that down because that's ready. Okay. Let's start with, I don't know, this tongue. All right, that's okay, maybe. And then I'm gonna lower this mouth line so that it doesn't look like it's, so the eyes don't look like they're sitting on it or something. I don't know if that makes sense. All right, like that. And then I wonder if I put the eyes like coming fully out. That might look better. We'll see. Actually, let's finish this side and see if that eye hole decision makes sense. What I'm trying to do is make it look like they're coming out of inside of that. And I think that looks a little bit better than it just starting abruptly in the middle. Okay. All right, so got that nose line. These weird nose wrinkles. And then this angry brow line. He's so mad. I think we can make that have more of a point. And let's draw this eyeball. I feel like there's so much nonsense play-by-play that I'm saying right now because I'm trying to like fill the silence. I apologize for that. I gotta get those background tunes working again. Or I need to have like a guest on here to talk to me. When I did that live stream with my friend Josh, I felt like that was perfect because one of us could be talking and looking at the chat a little bit better and, you know. Thank you for smashing Diana Lisa. Hi from Portugal, Mariana. Ooh, look at that. We got, does that say 109 viewers? That's cool. I feel like that's a pretty good amount. Let me, look at that. 112. We got some eyeballs on here. Cool. All right, let's get these nostrils in. I would appreciate my glove would stop making dumb noises while I'm trying to make cool monsters. I'm glad that we did this weird eye thing because I think it's kind of fun. Whoa, my stomach is making crazy noises. I think it just vibrated the table. Right. Maybe make this ear a little pointier. That's kind of cool. All right. And then stop making that noise. I don't like that eye. Let's not the eye, the eye wrinkle thing. Washington, how's it going, Skullverizer? Nice name. Shigby, good morning from Oregon. Oh, you did a draw your art here thing of mine? That's pretty cool. I have so many of the last one saved because I thought I was gonna like, I don't know, do a video with them. Is the Ninja Turtle one, which actually relates to this because it was inspired by there's like Japanese kappa, which is the same sort of Japanese monster thing from this drawing prompt. I'm wondering if this might look better if the fangs kind of come up like that. And then we could do like something like this. I think that's kind of cool. Couple tongue dots. All right, let's draw these claws in. Well, that's not right. This hand, I think I just need to draw it from a different angle because I'm getting confused. Okay. Okay, I think that's fine. Don't need to overthink it. And then pull the wrist into this sleeve. Got a little extra lineage going on over here. MT Strunge, you said you're new to drawing and you've been watching your videos, and that's amazing. Thank you so much. Haley, you've been trying to outline in fresco and it just looks weird to me. What's your issue? It sounds like you just need to find the brush that you like and the right settings or something. Because you know, all these drawing apps are pretty much the same in terms of like, it's just sort of figuring out, you know, how to get it to work properly for you. They just sort of do things a little bit differently. Sometimes it takes a little bit getting used to. For example, like the smoothing, like Fresco, Procreate does smoothing in a different way. It's like the streamline versus the smoothing. I really prefer the smoothing in Fresco because it's independent from the brushes so that I can like adjust it and toggle it up and down very quickly. Whereas when I used to use Procreate, I had to have like a special brush for two different usage because, you know, sometimes I want the smoothing way up like this to do this inking, but you know, sometimes I want like to do quick movements for like a, you know, angular rough things or whatever. And here I just kind of grab the smoothing and turn it down if I want to do that. Okay, let's adjust the tears in the bottom here to sort of fit around the other items. Maybe pull this a little bit longer to exaggerate the floating aspect. Maybe a few extra little lines. Does this one have anything cool that we're missing? Those are just straight up rips, I guess. Maybe some more wrinkle lines. Let's fill in the center part. How do you guys get ideas for your art and where to start? Well, so like this idea came from that drawing prompt, but Actually, I have a whole video. So I did a daily drawing project for 14 years, over 14 years, but I made a video about like different things that I use for prompts to come up with, to, you know, keep doing drawings for all that time. So maybe check out that video. I feel like it will be helpful because there's like lots of different series that I did and like different ideas that you could use. So I'm redoing this bottom part because those like last three humps of the smoke humps, is that what you call them, were like the same size. And it just looked weird. And now like this one is too long. So like sometimes I get it the way I want it to look right off the bat. Like the other side I think is fine, but this side over here, a little wonky. I think maybe because it's like more flat. I'm gonna redo this lower half, and I'm gonna do it without my sketch on to distract me, and I'm just gonna do it like based on the other side to just like make it feel balanced and more natural. Okay, that's better. And then we'll just do maybe a few little extra smoky bumps, if you will. What am I talking about? All right, let's draw these little fish monsters in. All right. Sorry for the quiet. I'm concentrating on getting this right. Be too much to have? I think maybe this could benefit from some tonguage. Oh yeah, that's an improvement. A little dangle tongue, if you will. What is wrong with me, if you will? Like, what am I talking about? Ah, didn't want to erase that. Okay. I think we can get rid of this line here. Just to simplify it a little bit. All right, let's go like that. Just like that. Put this eyeball in there. And then we need these flippers, that we call them. I don't even know if this is a fish thing. I don't know what this is. I'm bad at my modifier today. I should just use my other hand to tap it. Or hold it down, because you don't have to tap it. Okay, sorry. I was seeing stuff in the chat. Hey, I agree, Haley. It does look like plankton. I said that at the beginning. All right, so I'm realizing that this bottom one isn't sorted out in terms of like the sketch is not, I didn't figure it out yet, so I gotta We gotta figure that out here. All right, I think that solved that side. That. Okay, I think that's fine. Oh, that's different from the other line, but it looks better. Love when that happens. Sometimes I just end up redrawing the line a whole bunch of times trying to get it to look right. And that time I messed it up and it looked better than the sketch. My stomach has a lot to say right now. Okay, so do we want the tongue to come in here? The problem is this area below. I guess maybe if I just darken some of it, it'll be fine. I think that looks okay. All right, so that is all the stuff. Now I just want to, come in and maybe put some different eyes on here. Maybe we'll do some eyes like this. Might be kind of cool for that. Oh, that weird eye, kind of cool. Let's put a little highlight on some of these eyes. Definitely these ones. Definitely that one. Got to put an eye on this flame. That this sometimes when eyes are looking that direction, they're tricky to like make them look not bizarre. I think that's okay. Put a little highlight in that eye. And I think this space here could benefit from a little piece of flame just to feel a little bit more balanced with the composition. Maybe these things can have some, what are those called? Gills? I don't know what these lines are. They're just some, I just felt like they need something. They looked a little too simple compared to everything else. All right, so this tongue, I think I'm gonna put some stuff on. I feel like because this monster has hairy legs, he should have some hair on his arms. Okay, and a little bit of wood detail here, just a gauche little detail. Now let's get some color into this mix. So let's make this less confusing and just group everything we're not using Oh, this is amazing having helpful people and moderators in the chat. So I'm going to set this as a reference layer. And I'm going to make a new layer below that. And I'm going to use the Rezo brushes to get that kind of classic look. But to do that, I'm just going to pick color first. And I'm just going to do this with 3 colors. I don't know what I may modify them after the fact. But I'm going to start with this sort of pinky color for the red stuff. So I'm doing this on a separate layer. I'll do all the stuff that I know is going to be pink. Or red, I mean. This fire. And maybe this spinny hypnotic eye. Okay. Maybe this guy should be red too. Okay, cool. So for another color, I'm going to do yellow. So I'm going to do it on another layer because I'm going to set these things to multiply, because I'm going to layer the colors using the Rezo brushes from Retro Supply Co. Let's set this to multiply. So the colors aren't going to look accurate yet because they're going to be full saturation. Actually, I like this yellow. I'm going to steal this one. A little orangey. But this is just to get the overall placement down of like where they're going to go. And then I can adjust the values and like coverage when I switch over the Rezo brushes. So this, I didn't fill in that line, so I'm just going to manually color that part in. And I'm realizing that we missed this part. That would be red too. We'll do this, make the jacket or robe thing green. So I'm going to make it yellow, and I'm going to use blue for my third color, and we'll layer that on top of it. Maybe this thing. Let's fill in this mouth. All right, we'll go to the blue layer now. So I'll grab like a greenish blue, like that. I'll set that layer to multiply. Chat zone isn't working. What happened? Let's see if I can fix it. Where is the chat zone? What did I do? Refresh chat. Live chat. Maybe I fix it? I'll send some chats and find out. Huh. Maybe if I switch the scene and come back. Boop. Boop. Why are you so broken, chat? Well, maybe it'll come back. I don't know. Oh, I think I fixed it. Okay, cool. All right, so new layer, blue stuff. The this frog. Then all these. What have I done? What have I done? That'll be faster for me to just color them in. Make my brush bigger. Okay, so to get the stuff that's out of that line, I'm just gonna magic wand outside the line and then erase that. Okay. Now we can come back here to fill that in, except for that thing that I didn't want to fill in. So what we can do is just erase it from the blue. Okay, that's good enough. I'm gonna make this thing blue, except for that arm. Let's bring my brush size back down. Okay. Let's release my reference layer. Why are you selecting that? This contiguous on, deselect. I must have filled in line work or something. Okay. Fill that in. Let's this is blue eye. I guess we can turn the reference back on again. I'm gonna go to the yellow layer and fill in these arms yellow, but I'm gonna make them like a what's it called? Like a mix of the yellow and the red, like an orange. Sometimes the reference layer is annoying. So what I'm gonna do is select manually the inside here and then fill it in. No? Oh, because it's not on the same layer. I'm just gonna do it manually, okay? What are we doing here? Okay, now I can do what I was trying to do. So now if I select the rest of this on the yellow layer, then, yeah, okay, there we go. And then I can select it here to do the leg and the toes. Fill those in. Deselect. Okay. I think so the flame thing, that's interesting. I wouldn't draw flames like that. Like with the yellow. I like to do the yellow on the inside. I think I'm gonna do it my way because this is my drawing. I'm gonna make a new layer on top to draw this in. Let's bring my brush size back down to what I was using. So I'm just gonna kind of make some inner shape for the yellow. like how I was like, oh, I gotta do 5 monsters instead of just 1 for my live stream. Clem, you said when you are filling in a layer with reference layers, how do you avoid the super thin white lines? Oh, so that's the color fill adjustment. So when you are filling, you'll see this color margin, and you want that up as high as it'll go without going past where you want to go. So now I'm just going to come in and sharpen these points so they're not rounded off. I think it'll look better. Okay, so this flame monster, I think we'll just do sort of the same thing, and we'll use the yellow to sort of separate some of these details, make it look a little bit cooler. So maybe like pull that, whoops. Like a starting point for that shape, and then draw like behind this line, so there's like that overlap. And something like that, I guess. Figure out a way to have that this like piece come up above the yellow part. Am I making sense? Let's fill that in. Cool, I did it right. And then this piece, and maybe a little bit in some of these things. Then maybe just some like little yellow accent lines like this. And I think we could use yellow eyes, would make sense for a fire monster. Okay, so I gotta do some layering of color and stuff to like get more detail. What did I just do? I just filled in the I filled in this leg on the line work layer. Didn't want to do that. That's okay, we can just cut that and then come down to my yellow layer and just quickly block that in. Okay, deselect that. So I want this yellow stuff not overlaying on the red. So what I'm going to do is load this as a selection and then come down to my red layer and erase that. So that'll be separate. I'm going to turn on my reference layer again to put some blue up in this smoke zone. And then I think the other blue stuff I will do as like a detail stuff, if that makes sense. So I can merge my yellows together. I do want to make this this eyeball, that one yellow. Ooh, that's nice. Let's use some more of that. There, now we can have some variation with the pink versus the red. Okay, let's do some Rezo stuff. So I'm gonna release that reference. I do want to, some of the stuff I hand drew, and I want to get the line work out of that color. So I'm going to load the line work as a selection. And then just for each of these, I'm just going to erase that. And now we can, let's start with this pink layer. So I'm going to load this as a selection, and then I'm going to make a new layer to do my Rezo brush. So I'm going to come into my brushes, go to the Amizu Paints. Thanks for joining in. I'm going to use the Rezo Wet, and I'm going to go with 90%. Let's use color 1 because it's the first color I'm using. And then I'm just going to block this in. Okay. Now we can load our yellow as a selection and do a new layer. Set that layer to multiply and grab the yellow. And did I choose color 2? You want to use a different number for each of your colors so that the texture is different. Okay, cool. Now we can load the blue as a selection and then make a new layer for that and set that to multiply, grab the blue, and then choose color 3. But I'm going to do the 80% for the blue because I want it to be a little bit lighter. Okay, cool. So let's turn on our line work again. I'm going to make the line work part of this in a bit, but not yet because I still want to figure out some stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load this area as a selection because I want to try to figure out how to get like a brown for the wood. So I'm going to go onto my red layer and I'm going to grab the red and I'm going to try to just do like a light version. So maybe I'll try like the 40% one, see what that does. So that makes it kind of cool. And I'm going to try to add a little bit of blue and see what that does. Maybe it makes it a little bit more neutral. I'll do like 30%. Deselect that. So I think that's not quite enough. Let's reload that selection. So I'm going to go to my selector thing and then go to load last selection. And I'm going to erase the red from there. And I'm going to do more. I'm going to do a higher percentage. So I'll do like the 70. Yeah, I think that is good because it's like a nice separation from the rest. And then the strap, I should have done that all together, but I didn't. We'll do that and then just come to my blue layer and Skull Razor, I'm sorry. I know that this is a little bit confusing. I have several videos where I go over this in more coherent detail. The reason that I think this one's more confusing because I'm like experimenting and I don't know exactly what I want to do, like how I want it to look. So I'm experimenting more. Okay, so I want to make more of like a peachy color for the skin on this thing. So what I'm going to do is select, on my yellow layer, I'm going to select the skin areas, and then I'm going to erase them from the yellow layer and choose a lighter yellow, and not by lighter yellow, the same yellow, but a less of a fill from the Riso. So I'll stick with the, I'll do the 40%. We'll see how light that is. Okay, 40%. Okay, so I think this will be good. So that's lighter, and now I'm gonna go back to my red layer, and I'll do the, let's do 50% red. And that's, you know, it's a different tone. I think that's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm realizing I didn't do anything for this. Let's just make it red or something. I'll just come up to like 90% red, pull that in. Sure, looks fine. Okay. So I want to make this smoke less blue and a little bit darker. So what I'm going to do is load that area, and I'm going to go into the yellow layer and just grab like a maybe 60%. Again, I'm experimenting. I don't really know what I want to do. And then I'm going to go on the red layer because I want this to be like a dark cloud of smoke. And let's do, I don't know, 70%. Let's see what this looks like. So that looks wrong because we forgot to switch to the red. Look like that. All right, so I think that's pretty good, but I think if we go a little bit darker, let's see what it looks like with 80%. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I want that eye color. Maybe we'll do that like a green eye or something. So we'll go into the yellow layer, select the yellow, and then just block that in. Okay, cool. So I want to do some of those like that white highlight thing. So to do that, I'm going to make a new layer and draw it in, and then I'll erase it from the color layers. So I'll switch back to my inking brush. And then just kind of come in here and draw in some of those little highlight jobbers. Try not to go too crazy because I have that habit going overboard. Oh, I want to like have some separation in the color on that on the nose too. Not the nose, the eyes. Trying to do this as quickly as possible so it doesn't get too tedious to watch. What I'm picking up is that you're putting down is that you're replicating CMYK, but not comic book hashtag. So I'm using like their Riso style print brushes. So they've got this like texture, like a Riso texture, and I'm layering the colors like with Riso printing, you print the colors separate. It's sort of like a mix between screen printing and like photocopies, but they're separate. And I'm using that to like make more colors, just using 3 colors. I'm going to make my line work out of the colors too. Like I'm gonna, once I get this all situated, I'm gonna come in and blend all three colors to make the line work so that we're not using a separate color for the black. Sanyam, I saw that you got lost in the Discord. I have been, I've had a bit of a week. I say that a lot, but this week was not even ready to talk about it yet. But anyway, I haven't been on the Discord much at all this week, so I apologize for that. But there's so many amazing people on there. I feel like not even needed. It's so good. But yeah, I will be on there more. I'm trying to do this as fast as possible. Okay. I think a little bit on the frog, and then I think we've done enough. And then I just want to break up the texture a little bit on this frog to do a little bit of shading. Okay, so first before I forget, what I'm going to do is load the line work layer as a selection, and then I'm going to erase the line work from the white drawing that we just did. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't want it to cut out from the color. That's confusing, but you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to load the white as a selection, and then I'm just going to erase it from each of my three colors. So erase, erase, erase. So now I have that white without needing the white. So I can delete the white. And now I'm going to come in and do some shading with these Riso colors. So when I do shading with the Riso brushes, I do the colors on the, I'm going to merge this on separate layers and then merge it afterwards so that I don't double multiply. So I put that on a normal, grab the red, and then we've got these shader brushes in addition to colors for each individual one. So in Riso, you'll see we've got this shader. So I'll use this shader brush. And then here I can kind of come in and maybe use this red to make that a little bit smaller to like add a little bit of shading. One thing to remember when you're using the Riso brushes is that if you lift and then go back down, it's going to multiply onto itself. So you want to be careful to finish your line when you're coloring with them. Or if you have a hard time with that, you can just draw it with a different brush and then, do the load the selection and fill it in that way. So do a little bit of shading on this thing. Maybe on the eye. This thing. The frog. So I'm using the red because it's not in this design. I mean, in this part of it. So it's like a good color to get it darker. You can have some separation on that back part. And then for like to add more shading on the things that are already red, I'll have to use the blue. Okay, cool. All right, so now I'm going to, since that is all, oh, actually, we'll do some shading on this thing. Okay, so that is all good. So what I'm going to do is now merge that onto the red, and then I'll make a new layer to do some shading with the blue. So I'll switch to the blue, and then maybe I'll go down to the 60% shader. Adrian, thanks for saying this makes it look easy. Okay, so for the shading, the blue, I'm going to use it on here. I'm going to move this layer below the red so that we can get the multiply effect for the preview. Underneath there. Then this like part that's underneath the shirt, add a little separation with that. Trying to not go too crazy here, just add in a little bit. Could do some here on the hands maybe, I don't know. I think on the tongue going behind, that'll be a nice effect. And then like this, a little bit of depth. Put a little bit more on the bottom of that. And then, let's see. Maybe some extra detail there. Okay, cool. I think that is all looking good. So what I'll do now is just we need to do the line work. Okay, so what I need to do is merge the blue together because we just did that, merge that down, and then we can set that back to multiply, and then I'm going to load the line work as a selection, turn that off, and now we can put that into our color so we can get rid of the black. So we just have these three colors. So on the blue layer, I'm going to go into the Rezos and I'm going to choose the 100% because I want it to be the darkest possible. And I'm going to choose number 3 because blue is our third color. And now I'm just going to fill this all in like that. And now I can go down to the yellow layer and I will choose 100% number 2 because that is our second color, and I will choose the yellow. Fill that all in. And now the last one, go to the red, select the red, and then grab color 100%. And now we will have the darkest color, just to make sure they're all set to multiply. And now we've got this cool look because we're only using 3 colors to make the artwork. And then one last thing that I like to do is to just kind of mess it up a little bit. I want to give some variation to this frog and like lighten up the belly area. So what I'm going to do is on the blue layer, I'm going to use these, actually, I'm going to use the shader as an eraser. So let's go here. Let's go to the 50% shader. And then I'm just going to use it as an eraser. So I'm going to double tap the modifier. And then I'm just going to kind of come in here and maybe lighten up some of this belly area. Just give it a little bit more variation in tone. Maybe on the top here. All right. Maybe a little bit up there. And then we could just do a couple little effects with the the Reso pack comes with these print defect brushes, which are fun to play with. So we could do like this print defect. So sometimes I like to do these individually. So like on the blue layer, I'll just come in here. Let's see what this one looks like. So it's just this like added texture, fill that in there. Sometimes I like to use it as an eraser to just kind of break up some of that area. Just make it a little less perfect. And then we can come down to the yellow layer, maybe do a little bit here. We got these, let's try this defect number 2. Let's see what that looks like. So I guess it's just some more texture. There's some like a ghost print. Let's see what that does. So it's got those like lines. Those are kind of cool. We could use it as an eraser in here. Maybe this, what's this? Fingerprint? A little fingerprint in there. Why not? Another one over here. Okay. And then just a couple, oops, we put yellow on here. How do we do that? So that's okay, we can get that out of here. If we, on our line work layer, we can load that area. Actually, no, not that one. Let's go to our yellow layer. Like that. And we can cut that selection and then paste it and then merge it with our yellow layer to solve that problem. Okay, let's do a couple little things here and then we'll be done. It was a long live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's see what this dry drum looks like. I think that might be too much. I can't remember what it is. Oh no, that's kind of a interesting little thing. Maybe we'll do it like an erase version of it over there. Okay. All right, and then what I like to do now is put that back to multiply, is just sort of offset them a little bit. And I think it works best with the lighter ones. So I'll take the yellow, just sort of shift it a little bit. And then maybe we can grab a paper texture. Let's convert that to a pixel layer, put that over the top, set that to multiply. I think that is a little too yellow, so we can fix that by making an adjustment layer for that layer and clipping it just to the paper and then bringing down the saturation. And there we go. That's my drawing. I hope you enjoyed this. This was a fun drawing for me. I was inspired by traditional Japanese style tattoos. This was a prompt for this, the Monsters of Mayhem drawing prompt for May. And today's was yokai, which is these sort of Japanese folklore monsters. So that's what I drew. Thank you. I'm going to share it on my Instagram, so you can check it out over there. Thanks for sticking with me. This was a longer one than normal, but it was a fun result. New video on Tuesday, live streams every Friday. Thank you all for getting me to 50,000 subscribers in less than 2 years. Pretty psyched about that. Smash my like on the way out. Don't forget to subscribe. Ring the bell so you know when new videos post and live streams every Friday so you don't miss them. And I'll see you in the Discord. Link below if you want to check that out. Okay, bye everyone.